Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are continuing our conversations with the contributors of Awakening, and I'm so excited to have Rache more with us. Hi, how are you?
Good morning from Sydney. Good to see you, Adriana. Hi, everyone.
Same here. That's what I was going to say. I love that in this book, there's people from literally all over the world.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Such a beautiful global co-creation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about what you chose to write about in the book and why.
So my chapter is called Elemental Alchemy and Intuitive Wisdom. And the chapter is really about my awakening journey with healing myself and my ongoing evolutionary journey with rheumatoid arthritis, which I was diagnosed with in 2009. And it's been such an incredible, inspirational journey of healing and awakening self-love within myself, and learning to see the world around me with this new inspired lens of love and possibility. That's what I chose to try and condense into 3,000 words, a little bit about how that led to my own personal awakening, and how I believe that that discovering that you are your own healer can help others who are going through their own struggles or challenges, or just awakening, and certainly don't have to contract an autoimmune disease in order to work with the elements of nature and their intuitive wisdom to become their own guide.
I like that. Now, what was your life like when you received this diagnosis, and sort of how did it change where your nose was pointed?
I was living in New York City. I'd been there for a few years. I was managing a bar at the Ace Hotel, and I was drinking lots of whiskey and seeing lots of sunrises, and I was going to lots of Burning Man parties, and I wasn't really respecting my body as a temple in all the ways that you can. And so when I got diagnosed, it was kind of like life just did a 380. A 180. 380. What's that? A 180. I gave up alcohol. Of course, I went from just being this free, frivolous, having the time of my life in New York City with all these amazing, creative, expressive people, to, kind of receiving this, oh, actually, this is what your future is going to look like. This is what your present and future is going to look like. It was quite I was filled with fear at the beginning. I was really scared about my future. I was single at the time, 33 years old, and I was like, who's going to want to, marry me with rheumatoid arthritis, and I'll be crippled? And, because the doctors were like, it's a crippling disease and there's not very much you can do about it except for taking all these pills. And so, for the first 18 months, it was quite disempowering. I surrendered all my power. I wasn't tapping into my intuition because I didn't really think that was an option. Because I was scared and I was really seeking guidance. I didn't know what to do. I was in a lot of pain. That's how I got diagnosed, because I was just in excruciating pain. It was pretty intense when the diagnosis first happened. I just went from being this free woman having the time of my life to like imprisoned, in many senses. Yeah, that's what happened when it first, before I took my power back, before I reclaimed my power and went on the deep self-loving journey. I was in a space of uncertainty, of fear, and really I really wasn't tuning into my body's messages and the wisdom of my body at all, and I was actually resenting the pain. I was resenting the disease. So I was also fighting myself emotionally, as well as, my immune system, because rheumatoid arthritis is when the immune system mistakenly attacks the body, Yeah.
And what would you say was the catalyst for you saying, you know what, I don't have to surrender everything to this authority. I have the ability to heal within myself?
Well, thankfully, I was able to listen to my intuition, and it really was my body. My body's starting to speak louder and louder, and was saying, I don't like this medication. This is not this is not good. I could feel, I would wake up in the morning and my body was like vibrating, and my body was really telling me, try something else, please try something else. And so I had to trust that. And I was scared to tell my doctors because, a rheumatologist studies to treat people with rheumatoid arthritis in certain ways. And of course, this isn't a blanket. This is just my own journey, my own personal opinion. And I know there are many doctors out there that do also weave in holistic treatments, of course. But yeah, it was my intuitive wisdom that was saying there's another path that you can explore. And so I ended up leaving New York City. I moved to Bali. It was a little bit of kind of eat, pray, love, but instead of kind of going on a self-discovery journey, it was like a healing journey. And I was really looking for alternative, holistic, more natural therapies that I could weave into my life and expand with, because I found taking the pharmaceutical medication, it didn't feel expansive. It felt very contracting. And it was, it was kind of like, I'll be better if I take this. And that was disempowering for me. I didn't feel like I was creating the conditions and the environment within my physical, emotional, spiritual, energetic self to flourish and heal and be radiant. And so that's what I was seeking, and that's what I found. Yeah.
I love that, right? You were seeking it, and of course you found it. And how would you say all of that helps you in what you do now?
Well, I think you have to, in order to really teach something with the utmost integrity, you have to embody it. You need to have experienced it yourself and really understand the essence from, the intellectual side of it to the emotional side of it. You really need to understand every single part of it in order to teach it, and also resonate with your clients. So, what I teach now is it's not so much healing from disease as it is self-love, because that was the most remarkable thing actually that came out of my healing journey. And I did warn you I'd go on a tangent, but I'll just mention here that one of the most remarkable things that I experienced in the healing journey was learning to really communicate with my body. And I started doing this self-love meditation. I did it every day for 18 months. I still do it now sometimes. And I would start in the tip of my toes, and I would visualize like this kind of white sparkling light. And to me, that white sparkling light was love. It was love, and it was universal, maybe universal love, maybe universal intelligence, life force energy. And I would visualize it going from the tips of my toes all the way up my entire body, all the way to my fingernails, my eyelashes, the whole thing. And I would be breathing in healing, loving light and energy. And I really believed that I was healing. And what happened as a result of that, yes, my pain diminished. But one day I looked in the mirror and I realized that I had like actually fallen in love with who I was, exactly as I was. As a woman or as a human being, when you're going through your 20s and your teens, your 20s, your 30s even, there is a tendency for a lot of us to see imperfections in the mirror and have that very surface level, two-dimensional, judgmental view and look at certain parts of our body. And, it's quite confronting. One of the things I invite my clients to do is to look in their eyes in the mirror and say, I love you, and see how that feels. And what I found from doing this healing self-love meditation was that I fell in love with myself from the inside out. And it was almost like it was like a light bulb moment when I looked at myself in the mirror, and it was just this beautiful, illuminating, gorgeous realization that I had fallen in love with myself, that I knew that I had to be my closest confidant, my best friend for the rest of my life, and that I was, that I was the one. Yeah, I was my soulmate, and so that kind of ability to fall in love with ourselves is something that I really think is a really important skill, I guess, or attribute or quality for human beings to have, because there's so much that we see in the news and the media that kind of makes us ashamed to be human, depending on what what sources you consume, what sources you go to for your news and information. But yeah, there's a lot out there that makes us feel a little bit bad about what we're doing to our fellow humans, the inequality in the world, what we're doing to the environment. And so I think it's really, really important that we remember the beauty of being a human being, that we celebrate all the things that are absolutely exquisite about, not just existence in this human body. It sounds a little esoteric, but also, this planet is a dream. It's absolutely breathtaking, and and it's not something that should be missed. I don't want people to live their lives with that kind of lens over it. I feel that, and that's why I loved contributing to Awakening, because it's about all of a sudden the veils are removed and you start to see the world through eyes that are just awe-inspired, working with the elements of nature and just and seeing nature as a mother, as a teacher, as a friend, as an ally. And then that expands your perception of who you are as an individual. You become part of the whole. And that's also something that I bring into my teachings.
I love when you said that. When we connect to nature, we realize we're part of all of this. We're part of all of this. I love that too, because it's true. We have to be our biggest cheerleader, right? We've got to be on our own team. We've got to be for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where can people connect with you and learn more about the work that you do?
They can come and find me at rachemore.com, RACHEMOORE.com. It's almost ready, but you can still connect in through there. And I have, an elemental academy where I share rituals and yoga and meditation. It's $1 a day, but you can try it for free. So yeah, they can come and check that out, or they can look up Rainbow Tribe, which is kind of like my events side of things, where I do women's circles and equinox and solstice gatherings. They can look up Rainbow Tribe events on Facebook and find me there. Yeah.
Those sound amazing.
And see you there.
Yes, I was going to say, I would definitely recommend picking up your copy of Awakening. Go to Rache's chapter. I love your story, because everything in life is an opportunity for us to remember, to awaken, as you said, to fall in love, and to remember life is beautiful.
Yeah.
Life is magical. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fleeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate what you contributed in this book, for the life that you have lived, and also for what you do in the world, bringing people together in these circles. Yeah. Reminding us of love. Also, you can check out very soon our next book, Visionary. It actually just recently sold out, and that will be out soon. So I will be keeping you posted. Thank you, Rach. Until next time, big hugs from Colorado. I'll talk to you soon.
Big hugs.